What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. So today I have with me Chris Joondeph, who is a world traveler, and he recently came to Guyana to visit this beautiful country, which was number 139 on his list. So he has now completed 70% of his traveling journey with his aim to travel 196 countries. So welcome, Chris. Could you tell us a little about yourself?
Yeah, I'll tell you a little about myself. So I'm an American. I live in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm originally from Denver, Colorado.
Yeah.
Um, for work, I work in the airline industry. I have an MBA, and so after that, I went to work at Delta Airlines, where I am now. And in my free time, I really like traveling. And so, as you mentioned in your intro here, I've been to one more country since Guyana. So now I've been to 140 countries, all 196. Not sure when, but I'm slowly getting closer to that goal.
Yeah, that's great. That's good. So one thing I'd like to ask you, in traveling to Guyana, was there anything you was looking forward to? Did you hear anything about the country that you wanted to go and experience it for yourself? Was there anything of that sort?
I would say the two things I was probably looking forward to most was just meeting Guyanan people and like understanding Guyanan culture, which I definitely was able to do. I would say the second thing was going to Kaitour Falls, which unfortunately was difficult than I thought. I think for me the challenge with Kaitour is
Yeah.
twofold. One is that it's far into the center of the country, and in the ideal situation, I would love to like travel all the way there, by river, but I was only in Guyana for 4 or 5 days, so I didn't have time to do the whole trip. And then
Oh,
they have flights going there, but they were full, so I couldn't make it.
oh man, sorry about that. Maybe another time
Maybe
around.
I'll come back another time. Yeah.
Yeah, you mentioned about the culture. Was there anything about it that stood out for you?
Well, I think what's so interesting about Guyana and what I had read a little bit about this, but it's surprising because a lot of people, okay, that's in South America, so everyone must be Spanish speaking, and it's like a Latino culture. And you get there, and it's surprising because it's not at all. It's very Caribbean,
Yeah.
and that was something that I've traveled to some countries in the Caribbean, not all of them, and so it was really cool to see that Caribbean culture, but also to have it be a little bit different. It's not an island, so it has a little bit of a different culture there, a lot
Sure.
more, drawing from other foods and things like that, which I think creates something unique about Guyana that's Caribbean, but not quite like the rest.
That's good to hear. So what about the people? Did they welcome you with open arms, or they was not so good? What is the
Yeah,
experience?
extremely. So I stayed with a friend there I met on Couchsurfing, which is a platform you can use to find people in different countries that host you to stay with them. And so my friend there showed me around. He was extremely kind, very welcoming. And the highlight of my trip was actually being able, it was my friend Gordon who I was staying with. He showed me, he took me to like on Sunday, he had a few different parties that he was going to himself,
Yeah,
but he was like, oh, I'll just take you, And so he took me along, and everyone was so excited to have me and like wanted me, come in. And I found people very welcoming and nice.
that's good to hear. So at that party, I'm sure you must have enjoyed a lot of food because what's a party without food, especially here in Guyana? So what
Especially
were
a
some of the
Guyanese party.
dishes? What were some of the dishes that you tried and like of all of them that you tried, which one was the best tasting for you?
Ah, the best taste. So I think the one I'll tell you first the ones I tried. So I mean, I tried some at the parties, and I tried some outside the party as well, just at some restaurants and things before. But I got to try some of the main ones like the sauce. I tried the cow face, which I didn't actually know was real cow face until
Uh,
later. So I ate that, and I thought it's cow face. It doesn't look like cow face, and I ate
yes,
it. And it was really good. And then I found out, I was like, oh, if I had known, maybe I would have been a little more afraid. But I had that.
yeah,
I tried like pepper pot. I tried the seven curry. We went to like a special, they have an event after a funeral, like it was 1 year after the funeral. And so they
Mhm.
were hosting a special event. And so they had seven curry we went to try. And then I was at another party where they had like a lot of different food, but the notable ones were the cook up, which I really liked. And then I
Nice.
tried the iguana and I tried the lava. So I got a full experience.
That's good. That's good to hear. What about roti? Did you get to try like roti and curry?
I did, yeah. I tried some roti and it was very, very good. I got to try two different kinds of roti. One had chicken and the other I wasn't sure. But it was kind of another kind. Yeah, I don't think it had meat.
Oh, I think maybe it was curry and roti. Maybe it was,
Yes, that was what it was called. Yeah.
yeah. That's good, man. Yeah, I see like you get to enjoy a wide range of the cuisine, which is excellent.
Yeah.
Myself haven't tried seven Koreas yet, and you have done it, so that's good.
Yeah, it's very good.
When you were in Guyana, what were some of the different areas that you got to visit? I remember you said you wanted to go to Kaitra Falls, which is the largest single drop waterfall in the world, but you didn't get to go there. So where did you get to go to?
So we got to go. I mean, I went, of course, all around Georgetown, saw a lot of the different things there. And
Yeah.
then we went on a trip, uh, maybe 2 hours drive into the interior along the main road. I'm blanking on the name of the city, but they have this area there called the Blue Lakes.
That's in Linden.
Linda, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, Linden. So we were up there and we went to the lake and it's basically like if viewers don't know, it's basically like it was an old mine that like a quarry that goes down and then it was filled up with water at some point and for some reason the lake is like very blue and so it's very beautiful to
Yeah.
go and see it and take pictures and I think you can swim or kayak on it as well and then we went to Linden after, but it was at Linden, just kind of drove around, but hard to see so much in the dark. And
Yeah.
then we went to, I don't know what it was like an old plantation that had been turned into a hotel. And there was like a lake and the pool. And we just went there. We didn't eat or anything, but we just went there to take some pictures, walk around and see
And
it.
enjoy the experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember seeing one of your videos. You went to Starbrook Market. Did you just walk
Yeah.
around? What was the experience
I
there
did
like?
that on my last I had no trouble. A lot of Guyana people were told me to be very careful there,
Yeah.
but I didn't have problems. Always try and grab something from you on my way, but I was careful. I don't. If I take my phone out, it's just to take a picture. I put it back. So my camera's with a strap around my neck, so it's kind of hard to take from me. So I didn't have any trouble.
Okay, okay. That's good to hear, man. Good to know that you had like a smooth sailing there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no trouble.
In traveling to Guyana, what was one thing that you loved most about the country and one thing that you didn't really like so much?
Something I did. I mean, I think one thing that at least for so I think the best way to experience there's sort of two ways to experience Guyana. And a lot of people have asked me, like, okay, should I go to Guyana? What should I do? I think like there are two distinct parts of the country. There's the interior that's definitely
Yeah.
designed for tourists, but that's kind of a place that I think can be great for anyone who really wants to know the Amazon jungle and kind of things like that but it's harder to access. You need more time. It's definitely like Guyana. You want to go, if you're going to do that, you want to go for a full week and make, plans at least the minimum. But I think the other part of Guyana is kind of culture. And so if you go to Georgetown, you can see a few things, but like maximum, one day to kind of see everything. And I think like the real way to experience it is meet Guyanan people, like stay with Guyanan people. Like for me,
True.
the experience was going to these parties, and this is something that like you wouldn't be able to do as a tourist normally
Yeah.
unless you know people. And so I got I got to see that really cool side of Guyana that most people don't get to see or only really Guyanans know about. And that was probably the part I liked the most. Um,
Very
But
good.
I mean, I would say there's nothing I disliked. I think it's just local culture experience. I could see it maybe being somewhere where, there's not as much to do around Georgetown. Like, there's no, a lot of people think, okay, there's going to be a beach. It's right on the ocean, but there isn't,
Ah,
And
yeah.
so maybe they're a little surprised by that. So I think if you didn't know that, maybe you'd be a little disappointed. But I think if the only thing I wish I could have gone to Guy Tour, but oh well.
I get you. So, has it taught you anything since you've traveled there? Like, did the experiences that you were involved in, did it teach you anything?
I mean, yeah, I mean, I've always known like to really appreciate the local experience and getting to know local people, but I feel like Guyana was a reminder of how important that is, especially when I travel. Like I want to meet local people because I think you get to see a side of the country you wouldn't. And I think
Yeah.
had I just gone to Georgetown and just saw some sights and then, left, I wouldn't have had the good experience that I did.
Okay, and to go back again to your mission that you're on to travel the world, where did this idea come from? And when did you start the process?
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure when the idea came about for me. It was something that progressed over time as to like a goal. I had initially just been I really like to travel, and so I had done some. I had opportunities. My first job after college, I was an English teacher in Thailand for a year, and that
Yeah.
was like one big travel experience because I lived there and I went to many countries and I had done some backpacking trips and things like that. Just because I like travel, but it wasn't like I'd gotten to like 30, 50 countries. It wasn't like I wasn't actively trying, but I was getting to
Oh,
like a higher number. And so when I started to get around like 60 or 70, that's when I got the idea that, okay, this is something I
that
might
you
be able
want
to
to do.
do. And I
Yeah.
think it's a unique thing to do because I want to say it's like 200 or 300 people in the world have ever been to really are like a lot older. So it's not people like my age. People have done it who are younger than me. But it's kind of a really exciting thing that's unique. Not many people in the world can say they do it. I don't know the statistics for Mount Everest, but I imagine more people have been to the top of Mount Everest than have visited every country in the world. And
Wow.
so, yeah, I think being able to do something like that is a really cool accomplishment. And so for me, it developed. I lived in Europe for a year, and this was for study. And this was when I was like 70 countries or so. And when I was there, um, I made it in the 90s, and then it just kind of progressed. And now I'm going. I'm just trying to find areas where I haven't been. And so Guyana was like, okay, I've been to most of South America, but I hadn't been to Guyana yet. So I was like, okay, I got to go to Guyana now.
That's good to hear. So me personally, I'm from Jamaica. Have you been to Jamaica as yet?
Not yet.
Okay,
Yeah, I,
okay.
I hope to go. But I think I really am excited to go to Jamaica. And so maybe I'm waiting a little bit
Yeah,
to go there. Yeah, yeah. Maybe I'll go a little later, and
yeah,
really savor it, I think.
yeah, I get you. I get you. I'm coming on towards the end of the interview now. I want you to describe Guyana in one word.
Um, I would say I would say welcoming.
It's welcome.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely. People there are very welcoming.
I think that's a good word to use.
Yeah.
And once again, this is Chris. And to find out if you want to follow him, his travel journey, he has a Instagram page, authentic underscore traveling, right?
Yeah, authentic_traveling. Follow me on Instagram. And hopefully I've been a little afraid.
Could
I
you,
feel like it's a lot of work editing, but I've been watching more YouTube and seeing that it's actually not that hard.
yeah,
Um, and so I think as I see people do it more, it's maybe inspiring me. So I might start doing some videos too.
yeah, I think that will be good. And as you go, you'll learn and improve as you go along. So
Yeah, I thought it would be so much work, but I watch other YouTubers and they seem, it seems not that hard. I don't need that can just talk to the camera and do some things and make actually good content. So
Yeah,
I gotta, it's the hardest step to take is the first step. And so that's what I gotta
you're
do.
right with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know that traveling costs a lot, and to travel the world is going to even cost a whole lot more. How were you able to ensure that you fund and budget to ensure that each country you able to spend a certain amount of cash and then still have enough to travel to the rest? How were you, and also not only to do that, but to enjoy the country? That is, how are you able to do that?
Yeah. So kind of the three ways I really save money, and some are advice I could give to others, and some unfortunately maybe others won't be able to do. I just travel very cheaply. So Kai Tour would be like a big thing. That would be like the most money I've ever spent on anything, but I really
Wow.
wanted to go. So I usually am not doing like, big ticket items like that, more just, visiting local places, not spending too much money. But for me, the biggest ways I save are number one with like accommodation. So I'm usually staying with local people. So that makes it, free accommodation. Lots of times, they feed me, but sometimes, if I'm staying with them, I'll make it a little even. But I'll do that. And then that helps me save a lot. The other is I work in the airline industry. So I fly either free or very discounted. So that helps a
Nice.
lot, but that doesn't have to exclude anyone. I think if because for me, because I'm going to every country, I'm often like flying here, coming back, flying here, coming back. But if you want to take like a couple months and go to some of these places, like you only have to buy one flight to do that. And so, if you can limit how much you're flying, you can really like make that a smaller part of your budget. But I think like staying with local people, um, eating more local foods, not going out to eat so much, these are like definitely ways.
Yeah, I'm looking to do some traveling also. I don't really like taking the plane. What about you? Like you've been taking planes so often, doesn't it come like tiring or like you
I
can't bother with it?
I like it.
You like it?
To me, getting on a plane is exciting. It's fun. I mean, it is tiring. Sometimes, especially if you have a night flight, that's always like really hard the next day. But yeah, I managed through it, and I enjoy flying.
That's good. The
But
one thing,
if you're afraid to fly, and especially if you're in Guyana, you can go to French Guyana, you can go to Brazil, all these places that are not too far. And I think if set up, make local contacts, people to stay with, you can go quite far and not have to spend too much. And
yeah,
really like, you know, because I think the experience, especially in the Guyanas, like each one is so
yeah.
different. And so, just traveling locally, you can really see quite a lot and be really amazed. We
What?
got to wait till COVID is a little more finished. But when you
Yes,
don't when you don't need COVID tests across the border, then it'll be a lot cheaper to go. That's one benefit. So in the U.S., our COVID tests it's mostly free.
yeah.
You have to. It depends where this are free. Just like local pop-up clinics, they do it. So before I travel, I usually go to those free tests just because I don't want to pay for one. And then when I come back to the US, I do this like self-test at home. Um, and those are they're these rapid tests, and they're so much cheaper than the PCR. And so I
Yeah,
figured out ways to save money on those tests.
that's good. With the experience, all of that came in.
Just so a lot of travel, a lot of experience over time. I've learned.
What do you want to
Yeah.
say to the Guyanese people that are watching this? What do you want to tell them?
I mean, I would tell the Guyanese people, thank you for having me in your country. I really enjoyed my experience. I really enjoyed your food, getting to know your culture. I think one thing that I have found, I've been posting a lot of my Guyana experience on Instagram,
Yeah,
and the Guyanese people are so excited. And I love
yes, true.
like in no other other countries, it's like, they're like, okay, whatever, you're here. The Guyanese people are like, oh my God. I'm so happy. So I just say thank you to all the Guyanese people. It's really been great to hear from you and see how excited you are about Guyana.
Yeah, they always love whenever foreigners come and enjoy their country. It's really a
Yeah,
pleasure to
they
them.
love it. Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you so much for allowing me to do this interview with you. And I do wish you the best on the rest of your journey. And hopefully, when you decide to come to Jamaica, that I'll be there. I could take you around a few places and so on, you know?
Yeah, I'll let you know. Thank you. It was great speaking with you, and good luck with the YouTube channel and everything. And we'll stay in touch. Thank you.
Thank you, bro. Good luck on the rest of the countries that you aspire to travel to.
Great. Thank you very much. I
Good
look
luck
forward
on
to seeing this video.